Right here in the Big Apple's shocking video, which we will show you in a moment, shows an NYU student falling victim to a random street attack while on her way to class at 9:30 a.m. The suspect, who's now in custody, is a repeat offender with 16 prior arrests. The story is going viral, igniting outrage from social media users who want justice and accountability. And the victim herself is pointing some of the blame on New York City soft-on-crime politicians. This is Outnumbered. I'm Kayleigh McEnany here with my co-host, Harris Faulkner. Also joining us, Cheryl Casoni, Fox Business anchor and host of American Dream Home on Fox Business, Kaylee McGee-White, Fox News contributor, and David Webb, Fox News contributor as well. Well, let's get right into it and show you the footage. The incident happened on Monday morning, and you can see NYU student Amelia Lewis attacked by a stranger while walking down Broadway in Lower Manhattan. The suspect follows her, as you can see, slaps her from behind and pushes her to the ground before making his escape. The 20-year-old college student sharing details of her harrowing experience on social media, saying this should be a wake-up call for New York City.
I should not be scared to be walking the street to go to my 9:30 a.m. class. These people are disgusting, and they should not be able to be walking around the street freely, targeting girls and doing this. I'm more enraged that things like this are able to happen in this city, and we really need to do something about it because this is unacceptable. This just shows that you really need to reflect on who you're voting for and supporting right now, because New York needs help, and we're just not getting the help we need.
Well, she is right to make that policy connection. Who's the suspect? Let's dive deeper. His name is James Rizzo, and he comes with a lengthy rap sheet. He has 16 prior arrests, was charged in a murder case in 1997, unclear what happened there, and is now being charged with sexual abuse, forcible touching, and assault in this latest attack. The status of the murder case, as I mentioned, is unknown. Rizzo was walking free after being released from state prison in September after serving 2 years for a separate persistent sexual abuse conviction. And documents also show that he groped a 33-year-old woman in Greenwich Village, then proceeded to ask her, "Oh, you want more?" Social media users say this shouldn't be a left or a right issue, with one writing this: women should be able to walk to class at 9:30 a.m. That's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Public safety isn't partisan, but the failure to deliver it always hurts the same people first. Cheryl, 9:30 a.m. I mean, this should never happen at any time, but the morning you're on your way to class?
It's been happening for years here in New York City, and I wish I could say that the attention that's been given to this incident with the student is going to change things here in New York City. I hate to say it, I'm very pessimistic at this point. We have been seeing these random attacks on New York City, whether it's an 88-year-old grandmother or it's a 62-year-old tourist from Denmark or a young college student at NYU. This is part of life in New York City. In my neighborhood, I was looking at the stats from 20 to 2024. Robberies, burglaries up 30%, assaults up 14%, shootings up 250%. That is one neighborhood of New York City, guys. You get what you vote for in New York City, and now there's all these calls to change, you know, how the city and the state approaches these criminals. I'm sorry, but it's going to fall on deaf ears. I wish I could say that things are going to be different, but Alvin Bragg, our DA, he just got reelected.
Yeah.
He's the one that's letting these recidivist criminals right out the door. And this guy from the NYU assault, right out the door. This is exactly how this works in New York City. Nothing has changed. It's ridiculous.
Kayleigh, and it's going to get worse. I mean, I hope not. I pray not. But when I look at Mamdani's policies, he wants to end the gang database, which Tish has credited with bringing down crime. He wants to let people out of jail, reduce the jail population. Only the most hardened criminals are left. It looks like we don't have enough people in jail. This guy had 16 priors.
Yeah, and if you're a young woman living in a Democratic-run city, you're basically forced to realize that it's not a matter of if you have a run-in with one of these repeated criminals, but it's a matter of when. That's a really terrifying thought, especially as someone who lives in Washington, D.C., another crime-ridden city. And I'm really sick of mental health being used as an excuse for these criminals, because you know what they all have in common? They deliberately target young, small women over and over again. They repeatedly go after people who they know are going to be clear victims of their crimes. And what makes this all the more frustrating is that we have the solution to this. It was implemented in many states. That was the 3-strike policy. And the same DAs and judges who are now letting these criminals out, they know that those policies worked because they targeted repeat offenders who do statistically go on to commit additional violent crimes. We need to bring back those policies, in large part to keep our young women safe.
Yeah, and you are right to say young women, because Harris, look at this headline. This is Minneapolis. Here's another blue jurisdiction. It's the Fox 9 headline, and you see in a Minneapolis area where a twice-convicted sex offender on probation kidnapped and raped a woman at a hotel. They had met on Snapchat, prosecutors say, and Muhammad is his name, was sentenced in May in 2 previous rape cases, but served no prison time.
Yeah, look, I don't think we're going to run out of victims because there's no shortage of criminals. So you have to attack this at the adjudication level. You have to go after this without soft on crime policies, but with tough policies. You have to make sure that recidivism is punished like never before. You do it again, it's not 3 strikes, it's 1. Like you've really got to get serious. And you need the appropriate contagion of U.S. Attorney for D.C., Jeanine Pirro. You need her to be everywhere. Everybody's got to catch the power and the clarity that she has around the issue of violence. And you mentioned young women. I think of Irina Zarutska.
Yes.
23 years old in Charlotte, North Carolina, on that commuter train, looking down, dead within seconds, stabbed multiple times. Look, we have to have a tipping point. I don't know why on the left they don't. I guess that's the end of the statement. That's for them to finish the story. When will they change? When will it be enough for Alvin Bragg to say, okay, enough is enough?
And we know their names. I mean, Irina Zarutska, we know Logan Federico.
Yes.
We saw the passion, rightful passion from her dad on this issue. And when I see 16 priors, David, I think 16 becomes 17, becomes 18. And then you get these guys with 60 or 70 who go on to kill someone on the subway, light someone on fire. We've seen the same story over and over.
And I'll go back to the beginning where Cheryl started, but the number here is 15. In 2015, the Soros overhaul of the justice system began. The money that got Alvin Bragg, Kim Gardner, Kim Fox, and others elected county prosecutors, judges in place. This has been deliberate, and the victims, like my friend's daughter, who was assaulted on November 18th, and that same young black man has now been arrested in Edison, New Jersey, after the next crime just a couple of days ago. So the crime continues. The fact is that this changed. Cash bail, no cash bail, this instead of bail reform, which is arguably a topic worth revisiting, this was just letting criminals out of jail. Then you had overburdened prosecutors' offices. They can't handle the influx. You also have police officers who arrest a criminal who uses a weapon, a bat, a gun, or whatever. By the end of watch, that is downgraded to a misdemeanor at some level. All of this adds into the criminality and the criminal, basically the criminals running the city by the policies that Democrats have supported. And yes, it is primarily young women who are assaulted. They're typically seen as easier targets. But the grandmother on Social Security Day, or the day they get a check and they go into their lobby, who gets beaten up. There have been enough videos of that. Think of all of this and more. And it's not going to end until you replace the policies, not just the elected officials.
Yeah, without question. And it's like catch and release, but in the crime context rather than immigration. It's you get them, you release them, and it's the same story over and over. I'm sure we'll cover it again, unfortunately.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.